Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the shear stress distribution in circular cross section of the beam. It means that we are going to consider a circular cross section of the beam, and for that particular cross section how the shear stress varies across its section. Now to derive the equation, first of all consider a circular cross section of the beam. This is the circular cross section of the beam which has a neutral axis which is passing through its CG, and R is equal to the radius of the circular cross section of the beam. So consider the circular section of a beam as shown in the figure. Assume one layer EF at a distance of y1 from the neutral axis of the circular beam section. So in that particular section we have to concentrate on layer EF. This is layer EF which is at a distance of y1 from the neutral axis. R is equal to the radius of circular section of the beam. This is R, which is equal to the radius of circular section of the beam. F is equal to the shear force which is acting on circular section of the beam, because it is always subjected to the combination of shear force and the bending moment. NA, from the figure, NA is equal to the neutral axis of the beam section. EF is equal to the layer of the beam at a distance of y1 from the neutral axis of the beam section. As discussed earlier, EF is nothing but it is the one layer of the beam at a distance of y1. This is the distance y1. The layer EF is located at a distance of y1 from the neutral axis of the beam. A is equal to the area of the section where shear stress is to be determined. Y bar is equal to distance of center of gravity of the area from the neutral axis of the beam section. Now as we have A is equal to area of the section where shear stress is to be determined, then Y bar will be the distance of CG of that particular area on which we are going to concentrate it, and that distance it is from the neutral axis of the beam section. Therefore, as discussed earlier, we have the shear stress at a section given by tau is equal to FAY bar upon IB. This derivation we have already discussed in the previous lecture also. From this equation we have F is equal to shear force. This F is equal to shear force in Newton. Tau is equal to shear stress in Newton per mm square, because tau is equal to force upon area. Therefore, on putting the value of force and area, we have the unit Newton per mm square. A is equal to area of the section where shear stress is to be determined. It is already discussed. Y bar is the distance of the CG of the area where shear stress is to be determined from the neutral axis. Again, it is already discussed. AY bar, it is very important concept over here. AY bar is the moment of area for the whole shaded area about the neutral axis. Remember that AY bar, it is the moment of area on which we are concentrated. I is equal to moment of inertia of the given section about the neutral axis. Remember that I is the moment of inertia of a circular section, because we have to determine the value of shear stress distribution for the circular section, and for the circular section about the neutral axis we have the moment of inertia which is given by pi by 64 d raised to 4, or you can convert it into in term of radius also. B is equal to the width of the given section where shear stress is to be determined. B is nothing but it is the width of the section where shear stress is to be determined. Now let us consider the one strip of thickness dy and area dA at a distance of y from the neutral axis of the section of the beam. We can see here that width B will be dependent over the value of y and let us first determine the value of b, and after that we will determine the value of area of small strip of thickness dy. Remember that the width b will be depend upon the distance y from the neutral axis, because if I decreases the value of y, then the value of b will go on increasing. At the neutral axis the width will be this one, but if I consider the value of y over here, the width will be b over here. Therefore, for a small strip, the width b will be depend on the distance of y from the neutral axis. Therefore, we will determine the value of area of a small strip of thickness dy. All of you know that area will be given by dA. Remember that we have concentrated on dA, means it is for the small strip only. dA is equal to b into dy. b into dy means it's a width into the thickness of section on which we have concentrated. As it is for the small strip, we have considered dA and dy. A small thickness is dy and width is ba. Now we have to calculate, first of all we have to calculate the value of dA. To calculate the value of dA, we must know the value of b, and dy it is already known to us. Therefore, how to calculate the value of b? From figure we can observe that this particular triangle it make an angle of 90 degree with this one. Now therefore the value of this particular portion is b by 2. The value of this particular portion is b by 2. Therefore, by using Pythagoras theorem, we have b by 2 square is equal to r square minus y square, because it is equal to r square. Actually it is r square is equal to b by 2 square plus y square. On rearranging the equation, we have b by 2 square is equal to r square minus y square. After solving it, we have the value of b is equal to 2 into under root of r square minus y square. So in this manner, by using Pythagoras theorem, we have determined the value of width b. We have dA is equal to b into dy. Remember that we have to find out a small area for a small strip. Therefore, dA is equal to b into dy. Now we have found out the value of b. We are going to put the value of dy into this equation. Therefore, dA is equal to b into dy. On putting the value of b, which we have already derived, in this equation we have dA is equal to 2 into under root of r square minus y square into dy. This is the value of area for a small strip which is located at a distance of y from the neutral axis. So by using Pythagoras theorem, we have determined the value of area for a small strip. Now, as we have already calculated the value of small area dA, then by using this area dA, we are going to calculate the moment of area dA about the neutral axis. The first moment of area dA about the neutral axis can be given by it is equal to dA into a perpendicular distance is y. Therefore, as we have already found out the value of dA, it is 2 into under root of r square minus y square into dy. Therefore, on putting the value of y, we have the final equation equal to 2y into under root of r square minus y square into dy. Remember that this value it is the first moment of area of a small strip about the neutral axis. Now as we have to find out the total moment of area for the entire section shaded area, we have ay bar is equal to under root of integration of over the limit y1 to r, we have 2y into under root of r square minus y square into dy. Now as we have shear stress given by the formula F ay bar upon IB, we are going to put the value of F Ay bar also, I and B also into shear stress equation. Therefore, final equation will become shear stress is equal to F into Ay bar will become integration over the limit of y1 r 2y into under root of r square minus y square into dy. This is the Fay bar upon Fay bar value upon IB. I will remain as it is, and B, which is already determined by using Pythagoras theorem, we have 2 into under root of r square minus y square. On solving this equation and by taking common term outside the integration term, we have tau is equal to F upon 3I into r square minus y1 square. So remember that the value of shear stress will be given by F upon 3I into r square minus y1 square. As the value of force, the moment of inertia and the radius is constant, so remember that shear stress, it varies with the square of the distance y or y1. It varies with the square of distance y, means here it is the power of y is 2. As the power of y is 2, it means that the shear stress variation will be parabolic in nature. You have to remember this term very carefully. You concentrate here. We have tau is equal to F upon 3I into r square minus y1 square. So as we have y1 square over here, so it means that the value of shear stress, it varies parabolically with the depth of the section. Therefore, from above equation shows that shear stress tau increases as the y decreases. That is, the maximum shear stress will occur at y1 is equal to 0, means at the neutral axis we will have the maximum value of shear stress, and shear stress will be 0 at the extreme end, because at extreme end y1 is equal to r. It means that from this equation we have tau is equal to F upon 3I into r square minus y1 square. On putting the value of y at the neutral axis and at the extreme fiber, we have, if I put the value of y1 is equal to 0, then I have the value of tau is equal to F upon 3I into r square, means it will be the maximum value of shear stress when y1 is equal to 0, and we have y1 is equal to 0 at the neutral axis. Therefore, at the neutral axis we will have the maximum value of shear stress. Now at the extreme fiber, when y1 is equal to r, if I put this value into this particular equation, then we will have tau is equal to 0, because if I put the value of y1 is equal to r, then we have tau is equal to 0. Therefore at the extreme end we have shear stress is equal to 0. So what should be the conclusion from this equation? It shows that the value of shear stress will be maximum at the neutral axis and will be 0 at the end of the extreme fiber. Now we will find out the maximum value of the shear stress at the neutral axis, or when y1 is equal to 0. Now remember that in this equation we will put y1 is equal to 0, we have tau is equal to F upon 3I r square, and that will be the maximum value of the shear stress. This equation we will get when we will put y1 is equal to 0 in the previous equation. Therefore we will have F into r is nothing but it is d by 2 bracket square, because r square will become d by 2 bracket square, because diameter is equal to twice of radius. Therefore radius will become diameter upon 2, as it is square, therefore it will become d by 2 square, into 3 into I will be the moment of inertia of a circular section about the neutral axis. Therefore about neutral axis we have the value of I is pi by 64 d raised to 4. After solving this equation and making some mathematical rearrangement, we will have the final term tau maximum is equal to 4 upon 3 f 4 upon 3 into f upon pi by 4 into d square. This value we will have from the some mathematical simplifications, and after rearranging the equation, therefore we will have tau maximum is equal to 4 by 3 into f upon a, because from this equation pi by 4 into d square is nothing but it is area. Therefore tau maximum will become 4 upon 3 into f upon a, and all of you know that force upon area is nothing but it is the value of shear stress, and that shear stress will be the average shear stress. Therefore we will have tau maximum, that is tau maximum is equal to 4 by 3 into tau average, because tau average is equal to force upon area, and area will be given by pi by 4 into d square. Therefore from this equation we have the ratio of tau maximum to tau average as 4:3. Remember that this is very important concept while solving numerical based on this. Therefore this particular diagram, it shows a shear stress distribution diagram for a circular section. In this particular concept we have concentrated on circular section, and for that circular section we have considered a small strip at a distance of y1, and for that particular small strip we have determined the value of shear stress, and after determining the value of shear stress for small strip we have determined for the entire body. On putting value y1 is equal to 0, we have the maximum value of shear stress, that is tau maximum at the neutral axis, and on putting y1 is equal to r, we have the value of shear stress will be 0, and as it is the square of y1, therefore it means that shear stress distribution will be parabolic in nature. So this value is nothing but it is the value of shear stress distribution for a circular section of the beam. Remember that at the extreme end, means at this point we have the shear stress equal to 0, at this point also we have the shear stress equal to 0, but at the neutral axis we have the maximum value of shear stress. We have to remember this particular concept. Now in the next lecture we will discuss about the shear stress distribution for a rectangular section. So we will stop here. Thank you.